This is Nomiki Konst with the Young Turks. We're here in the Irving Park neighborhood of Chicago, the north side of Chicago, where residents have been complaining in a two-block area about their water supply being contaminated for months now. It's finally being addressed in the past couple of days. On December 29th, we had a local news anchor report on this, and the water is being tested. We're about to talk to an alderman to figure out what the latest is. Is the water safe for consumption? Is it safe to drink? Is it safe to take showers? We're going to find that out to see if there's been any progress, and if it's just if it's really just this part of the neighborhood, or if it expands beyond the 2 blocks that have been reporting about the contamination, and if the source is indeed what the city has said it was, which was a car wash that was not dispersing their water supply, their dirty water, properly, and somehow it affected the water supply of the residents. We don't know if that's true. We're going to try to find out a little bit more with the alderman here in the neighborhood. Alderman, there's a neighborhood in your district, 2 blocks, that have had some water issues. Some of the residents have been complaining for several months that their water has been coming out discolored. Some of it smelled, some of it there's been pressure in the pipes. And on December 29th, the city finally said that they were going to look into what was causing this.
Based on our call here.
It was based on your call. How did you learn about this?
We got 2 calls in this office, from 2 calls only. And so we immediately called the water department 24-hour, what they call the leak desk, the emergency desk. I said, we're having some issues over here. Can you send the investigators to find out what the problem is?
One resident I talked to said that, the city had been back there multiple times, tearing up the street. And so it was fascinating to hear that, and you could see where they marked the streets and where new cement had been put in and where there had been work done all along this 2-block stretch. And yet, on first call, the city had no recollection, or no records at least, of there being any complaints even of anything happening at that street level. And so they had work done there. They had multiple calls from multiple neighbors and residents, and yet it took a phone call from a member of the media for them to jump into action and actually check out what was going wrong.
And so we sent them out there, and after that, they did an investigation, found out that it was related to the car washes that are in the area.
How many car washes are in the area?
2 in the immediate area.
And what were the car washes doing that affected the water supply?
They're both new car washes. One was recent. Both of them. One was renovated. One was brand new. They didn't put the proper cutoff valve, shutoff valves, pressure relief valves to prevent backflow, and by doing so, it was illegal. We took a shortcut. You spent $100,000, but then you did a $1,000 mistake.
So, we take all complaints seriously. We sent inspectors out again up and down that stretch. This time they were starting to look into businesses, and they had found 2 car washes that had been not properly hooked up to our water system. And that means, in their case, they had a high-pressure system, and they did not have adequate backflow protection into our system, which meant there was the potential, and I have to repeat, only the potential for their car wash system to backwash into the drinking water system.
What is this story about the car wash? How did you learn about that?
My husband, as he was talking with some of the neighbors, was told that the car wash had put in a new pump while we were away, and that ever since then, everybody on the block was having these problems. And right. The water department, or the city, actually shut the car wash down after they came out.
From the pump
Yes.
situation. So this car wash is shut down forever, or?
It's currently shut down.
Yeah.
No one has seen a plumber out there or anybody to rectify the problem, so I'm not sure.
Since then, they've added these. They had to get the plumbers back out. They were issued a cease and desist, stop work order, close your shop. You cannot do this until you get your plumber back out and get your permits and redo it and do it the right way.
How does that affect the backflow? How does it affect the?
Because normally a household usually has about 32 pounds per square inch of pressure coming from the hydrant. A normal car wash, I think, has about 100 pounds per PSI, pounds per square inch. I think they quadrupled it, but they didn't put the proper mechanism, the backflow valves, to prevent any backflow into the water lines.
It did seem, peculiar that they came in looking to see what was causing this discoloration in the water and what was causing this sputtering, and immediately it pointed to this car wash, and this car wash had a improper backflow device installed. It just all fell into place pretty easily, it seems. And so, it leaves you with a lot of questions. And, that I think that means that there's got to be a stronger, more deep examination of city records. FOIA requests need to be made to see what kinds of issues they've dealt with in the past and see if there are any patterns to how they deal with these things and how they respond to these kinds of complaints.
We found in a review from recently that the car wash is under a new owner who's actually the old owner or part of that family, and it's the nephew of a guy named Sarge. Now, when I called the car wash yesterday, the line wasn't working. When we called today, the line was working, and actually someone else called while we were tied up and got a hold of Sarge's cousin, who now operates the car wash. Now, we're going to try calling him again because he wasn't answering before. They do not want to be answering calls, clearly. We just want to know what happened. Did they shut down the car wash? Are they fining the car wash? Are they going to send in plumbers? Was this really causing the discoloration in the water? We can understand the water pressure issues, but the discoloration is what doesn't make sense. And so I think it's really important to get their side of the story if they're being blamed for 2 city blocks.
Your remote access code.
No remote access code. Hello? Hello? Okay. That didn't work. So the questions are at this point, what caused the brown water? Why didn't the city respond quicker? Why wasn't the city transparent when they did do the testing, and why didn't they respond to the citizens when they wanted to know if their water was safe? Something is happening here. No one's being fully transparent, and the big question, one of the biggest questions is it really the car wash's fault?